Welcome back to another video, guys. In today's video, I want to go over a strategy that's been helping a lot of teams out in this recent FNCS week 1. Basically, this is going to be me covering role swapping. Now, this is basically going to be a tactic where either in the early, mid, or end game, you and your partner, that being your duo partner, you guys will switch roles. So there's going to be the IGL and then the support slash fragger. I'm just going to refer to it as the fragger. Basically, what you guys can do is, let's say one of you the IGL, one of you is the fragger. You guys will swap roles for a given reason in the game. In today's video, I want to cover that, how you can do that, and why it may be beneficial for you in these different stages of the game. Be sure to stick around to the end of this video so you guys don't miss any important information. Let's get right into it. So guys, to begin, this is primarily going to be happening in the end game. It can happen in the early and the mid game. However, primarily you're going to be seeing situations like this in the end game. In the end game, you are presented with many circumstances in which you may have to switch roles. Examples of this may be if the IGL has to stop and heal, maybe the fragger needs to take over and start tarping, rotating, and finding a path through the zone. On the other hand, a different situation may be if the fragger has to heal or stop when the team needs a refresh, the IGL may need to go and look for a refresh and get an impact frag themselves. It could even be something as small as not having enough time to drop materials, so instead the fragger may have to tarp. Basically, this is going to be happening in many different circumstances, and you guys will need to implement this tactic if you guys want to succeed in higher level lobbies especially. A duo that's able to seamlessly switch roles in sticky situations functions the best in these high pressure and chaotic situations in the endgame. Like I said, this can be done in the early and the mid game. However, it's most of the time done in the end game where you guys are going to be under high pressure situations in close proximity to a bunch of other opponents. And in general, it's really going to help you guys succeed in flowing throughout your endgame and working as a team. Now, some examples of some teams that are really notable that actually use this strategy. My first example is going to be Tayson and Iyamzo, who recently came top 5 in the round 1 and the round 3 of week 1 of FNCS on NA. If you guys don't know, Tayson has moved over to NA and he's now playing with Iyamzo. But regardless, what these guys are really good at is doing a really good role swap in the endgame if they actually have to. Tayson and Iyamzo both have experience IGLing, and they're both very good fighters as well. So they know, hey listen, if I need to IGL, I can IGL, and if I need to frag, I can frag. This is what all the pro players are really like. They're able to play pretty much any role on a team at any given point. Another example of a team that does this really well is Clix and Veno. They came first in the round 1 of week 1 on FNCS on the NA region as well. Veno also moved over from EU this past season. These guys are really good. They're a great fighting duo. As you guys know, Veno and Clix, two of the best fighters across all regions. But on top of that, they're also very intelligent. Clix obviously has developed his IGLing over the years while playing with Day and other really good fraggers. Veno obviously playing with Queasy picked up on a lot of the IGL skills. These two are really good at role swapping as well. I definitely recommend you guys watch them. And then the final duo that's really good at this is going to be Bugha and Aviv. These two are really good. Obviously, Bugha being the IGL. He's been an IGL for plenty of seasons, been a very good one at that. Aviv, kind of a more aggressive player, but also able to IGL when he needs to. And like I said, all these players, all 6 of them are able to frag extremely well if need be. At a high level, the fragging of these players is truthfully pretty much seamless. All these guys are going to be extremely good fighters, really good at box fights, realistic zone wars. They're really, really good. So it doesn't really matter what role they're actually playing. They're able to fight in any situation. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this section. This is going to be exactly how you do this. So how to role swap, when you should do it, and exactly what you need to learn in order to be good at it. The first thing is that you do need to learn the fundamentals of each role. Obviously, there's going to be fragger, support fragger, and then the IGL. For me, I try to simplify it down into fragger and IGL simply because the IGL is the in-game leader and the fragger is somebody who supports the IGL and also frags and gets eliminations when needed. Obviously, the IGL is supposed to be a smarter player and the fragger is supposed to be a better fighter. However, like I said, at the higher levels, any player can play any role. So truthfully, you need to be very well rounded. What I'd recommend you guys do is you need to learn when the correct situation is to play each role. As an example, a fragger should look for eliminations and refreshes, whereas an IGL should look to rotate the team away from the storm and any dangerous terrain. You guys can practice this very easily by scrimming and then switching your roles every scrim game. So for example, let's say one game you can be IGL with your partner being the fragger, and then the next game you can be the fragger with your partner being the IGL. That's a really good way to practice it and understand exactly what you guys are better at, what your guys' strengths are, and this will not only improve your own skills on your role, it will also help you guys build better chemistry with your teammate by learning what they're doing throughout your games in their role respectively. This can also help clear up who should play what role, who should play IGL, who should play fragger, and you can do that based off of the performance and who's playing better in each role in the duo. You may learn that you're a better fragger than you are an IGL, and you may want to switch up your gameplay, and vice versa. You may learn you have a better game sense and you're better at leading a team rather than being a fragger on a team. Basically, what role swapping will do in the early, mid, and end game, it'll allow you to have a better sense of what you're good at, what your strengths are, and exactly how to cater that towards your duo partner and adapt as you're playing with them. You need to apply yourself in these situations. You need to practice scrimming very effectively in these situations. But in general, the really good way that I recommend you guys get good at this, practice it. Practice, practice, practice. In cash cups, FNCS this upcoming season, in these qualifying weeks, guys. In scrim games as well, even in ranked, if you guys are IGLing and fragging in those situations as well, you seriously need to implement this strategy. It's going to be tough to implement in those ranked games, but in scrim games and tournament games, it's definitely going to be something you guys will have to do. And then as a general result, guys, to actually apply this in game, the main focus for this tactic is having a well-rounded duo. You and your partner should be good at both roles and learn exactly how to swap them and why to swap them and also when to swap them. You and your partner can understand exactly how role swapping will benefit your gameplay if you actually do it before, during, and after tournaments. If you guys implement it into this FNCS and the future cash cups, it's definitely something I think you guys will very much like and will very much help you out in your success. Guys, that is the video on role swapping. I know it's a very specific detail of the competitive game. However, I've really seen a lot of duos been doing it this FNCS so far. Obviously, the finals are going on as I'm recording this video. If you're watching the finals, you guys will see tons and tons of role swapping throughout these games. It's sometimes tough to recognize, but basically understand the IGL is the one leading the duo, the fragger is the one fragging out and supporting the duo. But that is about it for this video, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.